All right. I gotta text Jody now because he can't see me.
He might be able to see you. You just can't see him.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're trying to get his attention. The time is 6:01 and I call the February 2nd special meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. Item 1 on the new business is the Public Safety Volunteer Reimbursement Ordinance. And I'm waving like a crazy person because I'm trying to get Jody's attention. Because, let me see if I can text him. Oh, there he is.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Town meeting for a minute before we
We
start.
got an officers meeting going, but we're stopping it, so everybody's here.
Okay.
Um,
So item number 1 on the agenda today, or A, for new business, is the Public Safety Volunteer Reimbursement Ordinance. We are preparing for a public hearing that's going to be moved to a special town meeting, which will be adjourned for voting on other ordinances. One of the ordinances that we are working on updating is the ordinance, the Public Safety Volunteer Reimbursement Ordinance, which currently has fees in it that want to be adjusted. So that's why that ordinance is on here. It's currently, we need to decide if we are going to repeal that ordinance or if we're going to amend the ordinance. And that would be, if we repeal it, then we would repeal it if it's decided for the volunteer fire department to do their own payroll. Because if they're doing their own payroll, we don't need the ordinance, because that would be determined at the fire, the paid amounts would be determined at the fire department level, which would be approved. They would be approved by the Board of Selectmen in the budget line versus having to go every time you want to change the amount to the Board of Selectmen. So what we would, since we're not really sure what's going on yet, I did request for the labor attorney to have a Zoom meeting with everyone sometime to see if you could schedule something sometime next week to answer questions and go over our options. The main reason why we would like the fire department to do the payroll for the volunteers, the staff we can keep on the town side, but for the volunteers is because currently the town of Voluntown is classified as a small business for tax, state and federal tax purposes, because we have under 50 employees. If we took on the fire department as paid staff, the volunteers, that would bring us up close to 100, which would bump us up into the next tax level, which would affect us in state and federal compliance areas where we currently don't have to comply because of our employee level, which could have some costly consequences. So that's the reason. So my suggestion right now is to just put this ordinance off. Under the governor's executive orders, the Board of Selectmen does have the power to repeal or approve an ordinance at their own vote. We're moving the other ordinances to a town vote because I feel those are ordinances that that the town should vote on. These are more of a business ordinance between the fire department and the Board of Selectmen. So I'm moving that whatever is decided between the fire department and the Board of Selectmen, the Board of Selectmen decide whether to repeal or amend the ordinance. So I don't know if you guys have anything to say.
Well, I know with this new bill that Brian is putting together, if the benefit of the fire department doing their own payroll, if that bill is passed, there'll be no state taxes. So that'll make it a little easier on the fire side. But our only concern was managing it and the cost of that.
Right, which would be, that could be added to whatever the increased cost is that the town gives for the public safety line item to the fire department, so.
Now, you have ADP that does the town, yeah, and we probably would have more people. Is that an expensive venture or?
I think Julie said it's around $5,000 a year, but it's best to pay out for payroll services than to try and do it your own, because whoever does the payroll is responsible for all the reports to state and federal, and if you mess those up, the IRS is on you. So it's better to pay someone to make sure they're doing it all.
Yep, I think we all agree.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
It's Tim.
So-
I guess my take on it is because we haven't had a chance to sit and talk with the labor attorney with you.
Mhm.
I would agree. We can't today make a decision. We
Right,
need to sit and talk to the labor attorney, and then again, like you said, talk to the accountants to make sure that the solution we come up with is the right one across the board for the town and the fire department, and as well as that what we're going to do is completely in accordance with the IRS, right?
Right.
Whatever we need to do at this meeting to do that, I'm okay with, as long as we don't do something like repeal the ordinance at this meeting, which means we're not.
oh yeah, no. No, we would just hold them, we would just take it off
We
the
wanna- we
meeting
wanna-
call and just hold it to act on later, so.
I'm
That's
good with
all.
that. I say
Okay.
kick them up, but we need to sit and talk together with the labor attorney
Okay,
because when we ask him questions and again, to see how well versed he is on the subject of volunteer departments and things like that.
right,
And we may want to bring the accountant to the same meeting because I think there's some uniqueness in that.
okay,
That the two of them talking together may come up with a solution that works best for all of us.
Yeah, get Bowdy and.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's who you still use, right, is Bowdy?
no, we don't use Bowdy anymore. So
Okay.
for our auditor, we use someone else, so.
And I'm good with that too.
Okay.
Whoever you have for the town's fine. And I mean, if we needed to, we could pick a separate person to do something independent, because I understand Bowdy's been doing volunteer stuff for years. Hold on a second. Pagers are going off. Okay.
What is it?
Difficulty reading.
It's a public meeting, so I don't know how much you want to say out loud.
I won't say any more than that.
Okay.
Oh,
Just-
good
Thank-
guy.
thank
Hey.
So,
It's a something. Okay, I'm Tracy. We're good with that. If you want to hold off on that till, I think we're all good with that. Jody, you're good. Till we
Yeah,
can sit with the
I
attorney.
just want to make sure, we've been telling the members of this department for the last 3 meetings that, the town is on board and we're working on it, and we need to boost the morale. They know that.
right, and
We're just mentioning it at a meeting that, we're working on it.
yeah, it's just we agree with the need to increase the pay and everything. Like, we agree with that. It's just everything is, all of the pay structures and the pay amounts are all in that ordinance. So that's what.
Did you find when that ordinance was written?
It was written in, I think it was last updated in, I can't remember. Was it like 2011?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Was it Serpensky?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't
Because
know.
Johnny would remember, because,
2009 is the latest one I've got.
yeah, Kilgrim wrote that letter to the editor,
Yes.
said we hired mercenaries.
Yeah, and there's a amendment to it too that was done after. So there must have been like a price change somewhere. So it would be, we'd definitely be repealing the little one after that's like a certain price change. And then if we decide to go for a new ordinance, we would just approve a new one, or we would just repeal both of them. So,
Okay.
That's good. That works.
okay. So
Yeah.
we'll just take those off the meeting call and we'll keep working on it. And I try to schedule a meeting with the attorney and everyone, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let us know what day works.
Now, you caught the part where I told you, if by any chance we can't get that stretcher put on our equipment, and I think it is, but if they add that stretcher a complete stretcher assembly, and I don't know if it includes the rails that it's hooked to or just the stretcher component itself. The stretcher component itself is like $30,000.
Okay,
It's over 50 grand for the whole thing. So then you got the damage on top of that. That'll pretty much total that ambulance. That means we get $111,000. A new one, well, they got a demo. Bulldog's got a demo and they want, I think 241 for that. And that doesn't include a stretcher. That's a four-wheel drive like what we already have. So
Okay.
I don't know what we have in our CAG account that we could put towards that, because we've been trying to save, but there's gonna be a shot in the arm for somebody.
yeah,
Put me
Just-
on note.
yeah, let me
I hope we
know.
can fix what we got.
Yeah, let me know what the numbers come to and we'll see. We'll crunch around and see what we got to.
We'll keep you in the loop.
Okay,
All right, you done? with
Yep.
us?
we're done with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, so I'm gonna take the public safety volunteer reimbursement ordinance stuff off the meeting call, okay?
Yep.
Not a problem.
Like, I don't know if you heard, Skip, what I was saying at the beginning. We do have, the governor extended the executive orders.
Yep,
You caught all that?
I was about 3 minutes late, so.
Okay. Okay. So the next thing, we talked about the public safety volunteer reimbursement ordinance, and the public safety ordinances there, that was what I mentioned to them about another like amendment to the ordinance. So there's two public safety ordinances, one's an amendment. The main thing of those ordinances is the structure on how the volunteers are reimbursed. And it includes like a whole structure and a whole fee, all the fees are in there. I've been working with Tim to take the fees out and amend it as needed. So if we do choose to go for an amended, a new ordinance, we're still working on that too, if that's the way we decide to go. So that's all those. So we'll just take
And
those
that's
off.
what the current governor's executive order gives us the authority to do as a board, correct?
Yes, so when we move the other ordinance, I think the other ordinances are more public input needed. This ordinance with the fire department is more of a business ordinance between the town and the fire department. So it doesn't really affect it doesn't in some parts, but not as much for them to vote on. Like, this is a decision that we can vote on, I think, comfortably in agreement with whatever we decide to either repeal or pass the ordinance. So if that makes sense.
No, it does, particularly if this is something to get us through while we work out the bigger picture of repealing the ordinances and passing new ordinances, and then we can
Yeah.
take that to the town. So,
Yeah,
so that way we're not holding up the fire department.
right, because this depends on how they're paying their volunteers, and they want to make sure that the volunteers are being paid, reimbursed in an amount that's fair for the COVID situation and everything now too, so. All right, so I'm gonna read the meeting call. I mean, this is for the public hearing call. Notice of public hearing Tuesday, February 9th. Logan, can you just turn that off, please? Thank you. I'm starting over. The Board of Selectmen of the Town of Allentown, Connecticut hereby gives notice that a public hearing will be held on Tuesday, February 9th, 2021 at 6 p.m. with the Board of Selectmen's meeting to follow. This public hearing is being held via Zoom. To participate in the Zoom public hearing, residents can join, and then the link is there. This will be online and in the paper too. Or call 929-436-8666 with the meeting ID number that's there too, and the passcode. The public hearing will be live streamed on the town YouTube channel, which is, and then the link to the YouTube channel. One, to discuss the following proposed ordinances. A, an ordinance authorizing the appointment of the town clerk, and B, the beach pond slow no wake ordinance. And number two, to discuss the following resolution. Be it resolved that the town of Allentown shall appropriate $23,246.95 from the undesignated fund for the completion of the Allentown Public Works Garage. Potential action on the foregoing items may be taken at a subsequent town meeting, notice of which will be given in accordance with all legal requirements. Copies of each ordinance listed above are available at the office of the town clerk and on the Town of Allentown website at www.voluntown.gov. Signed this date, the second, would be the second
Yep.
day of February, 2021 at Voluntown, Connecticut. So I just need, I guess,
A motion.
Yep, to approve the public hearing notice.
I make a motion that we approve the public hearing notice.
I'll second that.
Okay, so the motion's been made by Skip and seconded by Ron to approve the public hearing notice for Tuesday, the public hearing on Tuesday, February 9th, 2021 at 6 p.m. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, hearing none, the notice is approved. And that adjourns our meeting.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still got to
Yes.
figure out that fire department stuff.
Yeah, I'm talking to our labor attorney and I'll see what dates work. So I'll get back in touch with you guys. We'll do.
Have you got any input from the auditor? I don't know. I mean,
She said that, well, we're done with the meeting, so,
oh, that's fine.
okay.
Do we need a motion to adjourn?
Yes,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
all right. Some motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Yep,
Good evening.
good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, Tracy, I do want to